Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. I am really excited about today's video because this is a thrift store haul, but unlike virtually every other thrift store haul I do where I make multiple trips and try to gather enough content to make a video, this was actually all one-stop shop. So everything you're going to see in this video was from one location on one day, one trip there. So they literally gave me this big box in order to take everything that I got out. So I am thrilled about everything I was able to find. So this is going to be a movie heavy thrift haul, a bunch of DVDs, but there's actually a video game in here. There's about 7 books and then about 19 or 20-ish or so movies as well. So I am really excited to share with you guys everything that I was able to find on this one-stop shop here. So yeah, really excited about today's video. So let's not waste any time at all. Let's dive right in. Because I only have one video game, let me just start with that one real quick. And this is actually a PlayStation 4 game from the thrift store. So I paid 50 cents for this. I should mention I paid 50 cents for every one of these in here. So because all my media is 2 for $1, which is really good. But first up, we have Dragon Age Inquisition. So this is a game that I have owned in the past. I think maybe on PS4, but possibly on Xbox One. But either way, I never really played much of it. I love the ideas of RPGs, but I just typically don't play a whole lot of them. I believe this is actually may have been on either Games with Gold or on PS Plus. I don't know. So I might have this one digitally already, but for 50 cents, of course, I'm adding this PS4 game to my collection. So I don't know if I'll end up getting around to this or not, but it is a series that I've always wanted to try playing. So maybe this is a good way to do that. I do have a couple of the Dragon Age games on Xbox 360, I believe, as well. But yeah, that's neither here nor there. This one I found for 50 cents, so this is cool. So Dragon Age Inquisition on PS4. This is the only video game I got. So now let's talk about some of the books I grabbed. So the first book I ended up finding is actually an Agatha Christie novel. This is called Towards Zero. And this is one that I have never heard of before. So I figured I would pick it up because it is Christie, who I've enjoyed the other books of hers that I've read. But this one is a menage a quatre, or menage quattro. I don't know how you say it, but I imagine it's going to mean there are 4 people involved here somehow. So yeah, of course, this is just going to be a murder mystery of some sort. So yeah, I'm hoping it'll be pretty good. Again, I don't really own many Agatha Christie novels in paperback form. I have listened to a few of her audiobooks and I've really enjoyed them. But yeah, we'll see how this one is. It looks like this one is originally from 1944. This unfortunately is the 1986 reprint of it. But still, very cool find. Always cool to add Agatha Christie to the collection, especially when you're doing it really cheaply. So Agatha Christie's Towards Zero, and that's the first book I ended up finding. Much like with the Agatha Christie novel, I pretty much bought this one for the author. It's an Alan Dean Foster book. It has a really good cover as well. This is called Ice Rigger. And I guess this is basically about these 2 pilots who find themselves stranded on this deserted ice world of some sort. So it's obviously going to be sci-fi, and it's Alan Dean Foster, who, as you guys know, is the exciting adventure author of Splinter of the Mind's Eye. So yeah, really enjoy everything I've read from Alan Dean Foster. He did Splinter of the Mind's Eye, but then he also did the original Star Wars novelization. He's a very talented writer, so I am really interested in checking this one out. You know what? I should mention, he did Alien as well, the novelization. I didn't love that one as much as the Star Wars books, but either way, I think I'll probably enjoy this one if I get around to it. So Alan Dean Foster's Ice Rigger. Let's see, this one is released when? 1974, and it looks like this is actually the 7th printing of that, so clearly it's done pretty well over the years. So Ice Rigger by Alan Dean Foster. So at this point in time, all of my Star Trek books are all put away into a box. They're not ones I plan to get rid of. I just didn't have room for them on my shelf, so I just put them all into a box. So I don't typically buy new ones, but if I find them at the thrift store, that's a whole nother story. So of course I picked this up. This is Star Trek Faces of Fire, and this one is written by Michael Jan Friedman, who wrote a handful of other books from the Star Trek original series book line. So that name is familiar to me, but this is book number 58, and the tagline here, or the synopsis, the quick synopsis is, on a remote planet, Spock and a young boy named David Marcus are caught in a desperate Klingon power struggle. So yeah, sounds pretty interesting. It's going to go into my box. It's not one I owned previously, so of course I wanted to pick it up. So Star Trek Faces of Fire, book number 58. And just because I looked at the other ones, let me see what year this one was released. I want to guess like mid-70s. No, copyright 1992. So I was way off. So this one is from 1992, so a little bit of a newer one. I found another Star Trek book there, and this is from a series that I hadn't started collecting yet. This is from Star Trek Voyager. But as I was kind of looking through this before I started, this is really cool because this is not only from the Star Trek Voyager universe, but it's book number 1 from that book line. So this is Star Trek Voyager Caretaker, written by L.A. Graff. And this is actually a novelization of the first episode of Star Trek Voyager. So this is really cool. I'm glad that I just happened to start at the beginning of this series, and this one was released in 1995, so it also has 8 pages of exciting photos. So yeah, this is a series that I never watched. Like, I would catch some Star Trek, which I didn't spend a lot of time with, to be honest. Like, I put it on when I was falling asleep at night when I was younger, but the Star Trek series that I did that to, or put on to fall asleep to, was The Next Generation. So that's what I'm most familiar with, but I am not familiar with it much at all. But none of these characters look terribly familiar to me, except maybe whoever that is there. But yeah, so I'm interested in checking this out. I really want to get back to my Star Trek watch through of the original series, which is only 3 seasons. So I need to get that done, and then I can move over to Next Generation and then Voyager and so on. But yeah, I was really enjoying what I was watching of the original Star Trek. So I don't know why I stopped. It's just a million things to do. And so I just never got back to it. But hopefully at some point I will, and then I'll eventually make it over to Star Trek Voyager, which I've heard kind of mixed things about. I think, Star Trek The Next Generation is really the Star Trek that people tend to enjoy the most. So yeah, we'll see how this one is when I get around to it. But so that was a long tangent. But Star Trek Voyager, book number 1, Caretaker, written by L.A. Graff. Very cool to have this one in the collection. All right, so now let's look at the middle grade books I grabbed. And this one, so I did this a number of times, which I'll talk about this a couple more times in the when we get to the movies, but I ended up picking up Animorphs number 2. This is actually Megamorphs number 2, written by K.A. Applegate, and this is called In the Time of Dinosaurs. So I was just kind of like in a mad grab everything and put it in the cart type of situation when I was picking everything up this day. And so turns out I already own this one, but it was so cheap, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't hurt to have a second copy of it in the collection in case something's wrong with the first one. I have no idea. So yeah, this is actually a duplicate copy, but hey, I'm very happy to have it. So Animorphs, Megamorphs number 2, In the Time of Dinosaurs, written by K.A. Applegate. Another middle grade series that I'm collecting. This is the Jonathan Rand series, Michigan Chillers, and this is book number 8, Sinister Spiders of Saginaw. So you can see on the side there, since I can't speak. But yeah, this one actually is pretty cool because it has an autograph in here. Now it is made out, it says Chill Out Mark, but it is autographed by Jonathan Rand, and I think the reason it says Chill Out is because it says maximum chills guaranteed. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I have a handful of these in the collection already, but this is one that I didn't have. I think I actually, in an upcoming book haul, I actually have one from Detroit as well. So yeah, or maybe that was one I just filmed recently, but yeah, so I have a number of these now in the collection. So Michigan Chillers, book number 8, Sinister Spiders of Saginaw, from Jonathan Rand. And the last book in the lot here is a Goosebumps book. We have The Beast from the East, written by R.L. Stine. So I think this is one of those that doesn't have the number on the spine, which I always find annoying. So this is not a first edition, of course. This is a repeat, or a reprint rather, another one that has some markings on the inside, but that's definitely not R.L. Stine's signature, unfortunately. Let's see. So I think this is one of the later ones, but I don't know exactly. Yeah, either way, it's one I didn't have in the collection. So yeah, happy to add this one now. I would love to eventually collect all of the Goosebumps books. It's just going to take me a long time to do it because I'm not spending a ton of money buying them online. I'm trying to find them via thrift stores and secondhand shops and things like that. So yeah, either way, Goosebumps, The Beast from the East, written by R.L. Stine, and that is going to be the last book I ended up grabbing. So now let's jump over to all the movies I picked up. I don't know if this is something that you guys have to deal with at your local thrift stores, but where I'm at here, I have to open every single case up before I buy it because, I don't know, maybe 25% of the time, there's just not a disc inside. And so if I don't pay attention, I get burned with just an empty case. Well, I swear to you, I opened these things like 3 times each, but apparently not, because there was actually a Blu-ray. It was a Disney Nature Flamingos Blu-ray. I was only getting it because it was 50 cents on Blu-ray, so why not? But when I got home to change out the case, because it was in one of those old, taller Blockbuster cases and not in a Blu-ray case, so I was switching them out. I open it up and there's no disc inside. I'm like, how did I do that? So not only did I buy a duplicate of Megamorphs number 2, I also bought just a case. I spent 50 cents on an old Blockbuster case, which I'm not even going to use, so that was a waste of money. And then finally, I actually bought, let me grab it here, 2 copies of Garfield, A Tale of Two Kittens, A Tale of Two Kitties, rather. So I should have brought it over here. I totally forgot. It's actually in my trade pile. But I grabbed 2 of the exact same movie on the same day. To my credit, this is in an orange case with this cover. The other one is in this black case, and it has a completely different color. It's like a purple and black themed cover. Looks nothing like it. You open it up on the inside. The discs look nothing alike. So I thought, because I wasn't paying the most attention, I thought I was buying 2 Garfield movies, when in fact I was buying the same Garfield film, just 2 times. So yeah, that was dumb, but that's what happens when you're rushing. So I did 3 mistakes on this one purchase, but whatever, it is what it is. So the first one I'll talk about is Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. I've not seen this one, but it does have this really cool orange case, which I love, and it does have widescreen, so that's what matters to me. This is one that I have no interest in owning this on Blu-ray, really. It's probably one that I'll watch once and never get back around to. So happy to have it, so I can at least watch it that one time. So Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. I actually bought this one twice, but I'm only going to show the one. Next up is a movie that I've always wanted to see since it came out. I know there's an original, and then this is the remake, but it's a Denzel Washington, Meryl Streep, Liv Schreiber. That's a really great cast. This is The Manchurian Candidate. And let's see if I can find a year real quick. 2004. So this is another one from my graduation year. So I don't know how I didn't see it, because I tend to watch a lot of movies from that time, but I missed this one. So yeah, this is another one. I don't necessarily need to have it on Blu-ray. It's just one I wanted to see, so I ended up grabbing the DVD, and that's pretty much what I'll say about all of these. But yeah, so I have not seen this one yet, but really looking forward to watching The Manchurian Candidate from 2004. This next one I grabbed just because I know my wife really enjoys this movie. It came out just kind of prime time for her to enjoy it. This is Saved, also from 2004. So this was the year I graduated, and my wife graduated a couple years later. So this is prime time for a high school comedy like this. And yeah, so that's one of the reasons she loved it. It just was made for her demographic. So yeah, I've never seen this one though, but it has Mandy Moore and Macaulay Culkin. So I will watch this eventually, because I know she's already been talking about wanting to see it. So it's one that we will hopefully watch relatively soon. But Saved from 2004 is another DVD ended up picking up. So these are really in no order whatsoever, but the next one is Fear. And this one is from 1996, I believe, and it has good old Marky Mark playing this super creeper. I believe I've seen bits and pieces of this one because one of my best friends in high school, it was one of her favorite movies, so she watched it all the time, and I know I've never sat down and watched this from beginning to end, but it's one that I definitely want to. I mean, Mark Wahlberg, Reese Witherspoon, and Alyssa Milano. That's an excellent cast, so I will definitely be checking this one out, but I know this is a thriller, so hopefully I will enjoy this one. Yeah, this one should be pretty interesting. So Fear from 1996. Next up from 2001 is a film that I have been told to watch just countless times now. I still have never gotten around to it, so now at least it's in my collection so I can see it if I want to. This is Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise. This is actually a Cameron Crowe film, which I didn't even realize that. But it has Cameron Diaz in it, Penelope Cruz, so has a really good cast. So this is another one that I really want to check out soon. Yeah, so I know you guys have probably seen this one because I feel like everyone talks about this. It's one of those movies that has always escaped me. So yeah, now it's in the collection and I can watch it at any time I want. So Vanilla Sky, rather, from 2001. Next up is another one from my high school days, and this one is from 2003, I believe. The only reason I got this is because it stars Heath Ledger. This is The Order. So this is one that, honestly, I've not really heard anything about. It's one that just kind of caught my attention because of the star of the movie. But yeah, it looks really interesting. Apparently, Heath Ledger is playing this priest who is going to investigate this death of one of the like order of the priests or something like that. And then he finds out that there may be a fate worse than death, is what the back of the box talks about. So yeah, we'll see if this one's any good or not. Let me know if you guys have seen this one down in the comments, if this is one that's worth my time or not, because I really love Heath Ledger. So hopefully it'll be pretty good. It sounds interesting. So yeah, maybe we'll check it out eventually here. This is The Order from 2003. So I honestly have no idea why I bought this one. I'm a little bit ashamed for having added this to my collection, but we have Epic Movie. And this one, when is this one from? Probably 2007, it looks like. So yeah, this, I honestly don't even know why I bought it. I've not seen this one, but typically these are pretty bad. Like Disaster Movie, I remember disliking. Vampires Suck was one of the worst movies like ever. It's just such a bad movie. So yeah, I don't really tend to enjoy these Friedberg and Seltzer directed comedies like this. These parodies, I guess, these satires. But I don't know. It was there for 50 cents. So it's now in my collection. We'll see. Maybe I'll get around to it at some point. But Epic Movie from 2007. And maybe I'm wrong. If I am, let me know. Is this one better than the other ones? Let me know down in the comments below. This is a movie where I actually found the novelization for it within the last few weeks here, maybe the last couple months. But I love this movie. This is Pay It Forward. And this is a film that we used to watch in high school all the time. My choir teacher would play movies a lot. And this is one of those movies that he played over and over again. This is from 2000, by the way. But this is just a movie that always makes me cry. Of course, now, knowing what we know about Kevin Spacey, it's one that, I'm glad I didn't buy this new because I don't want to support him. But yes, everybody else in this film, they're just wonderful. So yeah, I'm very excited to watch this one again. Have been wanting to have it in the collection and just haven't. So very happy to have found Pay It Forward from 2000. This one actually cracks me up because I honestly thought I bought this one like a year ago. Ken from Mid-Level Media actually just hauled this at his thrift store, and I made a comment in there about how I was, I'm glad he picked it up because it's always one I've enjoyed, and I even grabbed it last year from the thrift store. Well, no, I grabbed it within like the past 3 weeks here. So this is Swim Fan, and this is another one that's got to be from my high school days. Let's see, 2002, yeah. So this is one that I remember enjoying when I first watched it. I was watching it with my friends way back in high school, and I thought it was pretty good. So I am excited to have this one back in the collection. I just want to see it again. I want to see if it holds up, if I like it as much as I did the first time I saw it, or if maybe it was just youth that got in the way. But yeah, we'll see. This is a thriller. I believe, if I'm remembering right, like she ends up being like a stalker to the boy here. There is a love triangle of sorts. So yeah, pretty fun movie that I really enjoyed when I watched it before, and very happy to add Swim Fan to the collection. And this one again was released in 2002. Here's a movie that I just think is funny. This is another one. I didn't realize how many of these movies that I got were from like my high school, those 4 years I spent in high school, but this is from 2002 as well. And this is The New Guy. I just really like this cast. It has DJ Qualls, it has Eliza Dushku, Eddie Griffin, and Zooey Deschanel. So it has an excellent cast. I think DJ Qualls is just hilarious. He's just like that awkward guy who's just super funny. And then of course he becomes somebody else in this movie. This is just a funny comedy that I've always enjoyed. So yeah, happy to have this one in the collection. It's one that like I don't need it on Blu-ray. DVD's totally fine for this, so that's why I didn't mind spending the 50 cents on this one. So The New Guy from 2002, another one for the comedy collection. Here's one that I probably got for the slipcover more than anything, but this is from 2007. This is Wild Hogs, and you can see it has that nice slipcover on it. It's in really great shape too, which some of these are a little bit more questionable than others, but this one is in great shape. So yeah, this is about a bunch. I think these are all like dads who decide to go back out on their Harleys one last time. I always remember seeing trailers for this back when it was new, but it never really interested me all that much. But I don't know, it's kind of more nostalgia. Like the cast is incredible there. John Travolta, Martin Lawrence, William H. Macy, Tim Allen, like that's an awesome cast. So hopefully I will get a kick out of this one, if nothing else. So Wild Hogs from 2007. This one is a little bit older, from 1990, and I know this one was just released on Blu-ray. I believe it's a Warner Archive title, if I remember right, but I ended up finding the DVD. So this is Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. So I don't know too much about this other than like I think he's a radio DJ, and there's some love story drama in here of some sort. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy this one or not, but I figured it being Christian Slater, and there was quite a bit of talk about this once it was released on Blu-ray, so hopefully it'll be one of those more underappreciated or underdiscussed gems from the early 90s. So yeah, we'll see how this one is. Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater from 1990. This next movie from 1973, there is actually a remake which stars The Rock, I believe. This is Walking Tall. So this is the original of that, and I've never seen either of them, but I've seen like the trailer for Walking Tall, the one with The Rock, so many times. So I'm hoping it'll be the type of movie I enjoy. I think it's more of like one of those vengeance films, an action movie. So yeah, maybe an exploitation a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, excited to check this one out. But yeah, so Walking Tall from 1973. This next one I'm actually really excited about, which is kind of goofy because of the movie, what the movie is. But either way, this is one that I've seen the trailer for so many times when I was younger, like on my old VHS tapes and whatnot. But this is from 2001. This is Dude, Where's My Car? So this is Ashton Kutcher and Seann William Scott, who of course were very famous at this time because you had that 70s show, and then you had American Pie, which came out relatively close to this. So these are two big names, and I think that's probably the reason I wanted to watch this movie, because it looks so goofy and dumb, but never got around to it for whatever reason. So now I will be correcting that, and I have it in the collection. So Dude, Where's My Car from 2001. So the last three here are all DVDs, and these are probably the coolest finds just given what they are, and they're all in great shape, surprisingly, at least the discs themselves. So I was able to find Three's Company Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. So these are all complete. The DVDs look really good, shockingly. So now I have the first three seasons of Three's Company. And frankly, I have no idea how many seasons there were. This might be the whole thing. I don't know exactly. But this is one that I used to watch on Nick at Night all the time, and I always laughed my butt off. I love John Ritter, Suzanne Summers. Like, it's just a really good cast. So yeah, I'm very excited to have these in the collection. And, if I can find, if there are others, which like I said, I don't remember, but if there are others, I would definitely want to grab those. But very happy to find these. And these still were 50 cents each. So I have the first three seasons of Three's Company, and I paid $1.50 for them. So that's a darn good deal. So yeah, so those are all the DVDs. Now let's talk about a couple Blu-rays that I found as well. To be fair, the Blu-rays are lesser quality, I would say, than what I found on DVD. But either way, they're Blu-rays for 50 cents, so I don't mind. First up, we have Jack and Jill, which is just like scraping the bottom of the barrel when it comes to comedies. But it is what it is. I typically don't even really like Adam Sandler movies all that much. Happy Gilmore is an exception, of course. There are some exceptions in there. Waterboy I tend to enjoy. But yeah, this one I've not seen. I've only seen parts of this, and it was just dreadful. But it's a 50-cent Blu-ray. I can't pass it up. So Jack and Jill. Let's see if I can find a release year on this one. 2012. So yeah, and I believe this won the Razzie, the Raspberry Award, the Razzie, whatever, for worst film of that year. So it is what it is. Jack and Jill from 2012. And last but not least, from 2008 is a more a non-traditional superhero movie. This is Hancock, starring Charlize Theron and Will Smith. So those two are incredible. I love superhero movies, and this is one that I've wanted to see for the longest time. So yeah, very excited to have this one. I do, I guess Jack and Jill was on the one of lesser quality. This one I'm actually genuinely excited about because I was actually shocked that I didn't have it in my collection already because I've wanted to see it for so long. So yeah, the fact that I was able to find this makes me quite happy. So Hancock from 2008 is going to wrap up all the movies that I found on this one-stop trip. All right, and there they are. These are all the movies that I was able to find. I'll leave the books down on the floor so I don't drop anything. But yeah, so this was a really cool stop at the thrift store. It was completely random. Like, I go to this one quite a bit, and so the fact that I was able to find a box load maybe 2 or 3 weeks after the last time I'd been there is pretty remarkable in my eyes. So I was really happy that I decided to stop in that day. But let me know what you guys have been able to find at your thrift store lately. I love hearing everything you guys get because it's always completely random, which is what I love about thrifting. It's like one of my favorite things is it can literally be anything. But yeah, and it's super cheap. So that's the best part as well. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below if there's anything in here I should prioritize or if there's anything that I kind of wasted 50 cents on. Let me know down in the comments below. I love having more of a conversation with you guys guys down there. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. And if not, well, thanks for watching this one. I really do appreciate that. And as I always say, I don't just talk books and movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, collectibles, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.